Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday. And today, at any given point, a hot topic in cane self-defense, and that is cane versus the dreaded knife attack. And we could easily turn this into a two-part series. I don't know if that's going to be the case. But today, in particular, how do you do that when the cane, how do you handle that when you have the cane in hand, but you're not in the power shot range? Before you know it, it's on you. It may even come away from your field of vision. So tune in and tune in to the end. Before we get started, as always, a warm welcome to all. And before we forget, if you love the content, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon. And avail yourself. You have free resources. By far the most important one, the no-cost cane clarity call. Text the letter CCC to the number on the screen. In less than 24 hours, we will be on a phone call with you discussing what it is that is important to you. What is it that attracted you? Why are you watching this? What is it that interests you about the cane? More importantly, answering all your questions and how it is. How is it that you can get cane trained wherever you are? That's what we specialize in. We'll answer questions regarding canes and the culture, anything that pertains to the cane. We will go ahead and cover. And then look at the description below, because there's Facebook groups, private Facebook groups that you can request entry and they will let you right in. Listen, there's the issue here where you're at a distance. This gives you leverage, right? The power shot range. But what about when, for whatever reason, we're human, and the next thing even away from your field of vision, this happens here, right? Now you have the cane, the knife on you, and anywhere I go, if I try to do anything, all she has to do is this, and I'm done. She might be barking commands at me. She might be, that other hand might be coming in here, but please don't miss this. Even if what am I going to do? I can't go from here to here. I'm limited in what I can do because any movement and this happens. So I don't have a lot of options. Don't miss this one. For those of you that carry firearms, you say, I always carry a firearm. That's more important. How is this working for you now? What are you going to do? So that's just, if I go, anything that it's not drawn yet. I have a firearm on me and I can't do this because the knife is already on me. So how do I handle this situation? Dealing against knife attacks. I studied over 200 of them. Just an absolute, I hate it. To me, this is the worst type of weapon to have to face, right? So it's so sneaky. Look at the size of it. You can carry it anywhere. Boom, and it sneaks up on you. So we adhere to certain principles. Part of the issue with the cane and any tool is that some of you, once you have the cane here, you don't feel as comfortable because you're used to using it here. But we at ACSD, we cover the entire gamut. So it's three principles. I'm gonna have to clear, anchor that, and if I get an opportunity, once I do that anchor, either escape or extract if I get the opportunity. So I'm gonna have this play out again. And here it is. I wasn't looking, and for whoa! Look at where I say, hey! What do you want? Ah, down! Right, here's the extraction. Here's where it comes over. Look at where that knife is, and I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So what happens when you're working with the live tool? Right. This isn't a drone. I should be using a drone, so I don't get in trouble. But even this initial movement when you're working with your training partner, the blade is under. In order for this to do damage, it has to remain there. Even if she presses too hard, I can cut myself. Right? She might cut me there. So the hands are going to extract that. And at this point, what I want you to do with your training partner is say, go ahead and cut me. And go ahead, slice me. And I want you to practice that. Even if it's, maybe you're watching this and you're not, your training partner's bigger, stronger. I want you to do that because when you align this with your center, you're going to have an advantage, right? Now, notice that the cane, if you have a cane, it doesn't matter to me whether you have a palm rest or not. I happen to be using palm rest, but if I'm not using the palm rest, this works just as well. Look at her face, right? I rub in there. So wood on bone, see that? So I'm going to create this opening by lifting. And when I turn, this is going to move towards her. So if there's any stabbing going on, it's on her. And then the shaft of the cane comes over. She's already tapping. That's how I do my extraction. Thank you for that. It works just as well with the empty hand. Same concept. Here I am. I wasn't looking. And the next thing you know, whoa, There it is. And so that's my initial movement. Now I have to move because that other hand, she can either, you don't know if she has a secondary tool, or she just starts winding up to whack me on the side of the head. I'm going to move that towards her. You see what happens here? That's self-explanatory, may or may not happen. But from here, say, well, can she? No, because I have her locked up. And here we go. And here's the extraction, right? It's just showing you the principles. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to do any of that. That's why we train the way that we train with the cane and ACSD, so that you don't have to look it into your hands. What about if it's coming from the front? The same principles, right? I don't know how this may have happened, but maybe you're over here dealing with something ATM. They've been eyeing you. You don't get to eye them. They've been studying you. And the next thing you know, there it is. And she might hold it like this. She can hold it like this. Either way, both ways. Right? I'm going to show you this one in particular because it's the first one that she did. And I want to show you how. Leave it there. What you did in the attack from the rear was this movement. I want to show you that it's the same thing from the front. So ACSD passes this on to you in such a way where the nervous system doesn't really get confused with the different movements that are out here. No, it's still coming to remove this. The principles are the same. And in this case, I'm going to keep it over the top. See that? That causes that L lock immediately because of the way she's holding it. And I don't look at it. I said, listen, you want my money? It's down here. See what I do with the cane? And the minute she does that, look at what we're doing. Because I don't care if it's here. It's still not touching me. Cut me. You can't, because it's lined up with my center. It's away from her center, lined up with mine. And then, of course, I'm doing, Now, once I go here, this is a gross motor movement. Right over the top, that reverse anchor. Here's the extraction and go. That's how we do that with the tool. But if I don't have the tool, it becomes the exact same thing. Well, hey, take it. Oh, there it is. See that? See that initial movement that brings it off and holds it here tight. And now, just from this, even the weight of my arm, right, when you're doing it correctly, and there's the extraction. Thank you for that. So I wanted to show you how the dynamics of that. There are pointers here that go beyond the scope of what we're doing because it would make for a much longer. I break that down for you, make for a longer segment. But there's certain things and certain angles and certain principles that I'm using here that if you don't have that in place, well, it's not going to work the same. You're going to use more strength than you need to. But this shows you the importance of having not just this, because this is one thing to keep people away, but what about when that tool, that knife is already on you? How do you handle it? And I'm just giving you two different angles, one from the rear, one from the front, and how it translates. The movements are the same. In other words, if I'm going from the back, it's here. Right? If I'm going from the front, it's here. They're very similar movements. See the movement here with the cane. What does that represent? Well, that represents the locking mechanism. What does this represent? Well, that represents me coming over and locking with the empty hand. That's the translation that you get from ACSD. That's why we encourage you that when you're enrolling with the for the cane course, which is wonderful, your 6-week challenge, I'm always going to look at you and tell you, don't just do it with the cane. Do cane and empty hand. Get it in a bundle. Not only are you going to save doing that, for funds, we bundled it for you to facilitate it, but it's just the full strength. It's the way it was put together. You're getting both in one shot. All right. And so, again, it all begins. Text the number, text CCC to the number on the screen. Let's have a conversation first and see if this is a good fit for you, because watching this, that's right on, that's potential, but how are you actually going to make it happen? And how do you do it when you don't have a training partner, right? And you are wherever you are, you don't have an instructor there that can pass this on to you. Okay, I'm Joe Robaina from American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.